Hello, everybody. We're back with another Helminth build, which is the favorite part of everyone's day. Today we're going to be looking at Hydroid. Yeah, Hydroid. You know, we just had TennoCon 2020. They had a Hydroid Prime as a Twitch drop, so a lot of people have a Hydroid and are wondering like, what can I do with my Hydroid? Can I do something cool with my Hydroid? The answer is yes, you can actually do a little bit of everything. Hydroid is one of the true generalists of the game. He can armor strip, he can crowd control, he can increase loot drops, he can do stuff with infinitely scaling damage. Yes, he can. It's just that like people are saying that, and you're gonna hear that very commonly about Hydroid, that like anything he can do, some other Warframe in the game can do better. And while that might be true, there's very few Warframes in the game who can, in fact, like do everything. So he's cool. He's definitely got his uses. Most people probably just use him for like Tentacle Swarm and Pilfering Swarm. You just go into a corner of a survival mission, you activate your big tentacles, they grab enemies, you get more loot drops when they die, you have a Necros there, he desecrates. You tag team and you get a lot of loot, and you don't use like any of his other abilities because you never sort of bother to learn what Hydroid can do. That's probably like how most people play him. But he's got a really interesting kit, actually. He's got his Tempest Barrage, you know, which you can just shoot down these bombs and stuff. If you use the augment for it, it does corrosive damage, which armor strips, which is very nice. He's got his Tidal Surge, which is his mobility skill. Lets him zippity zoom fast forward in a puddle of water and drag enemies with him. And that's the ability that I have replaced. I'll explain why pretty soon. And then he's got his Undertow, which is this. He goes into the puddle underwater like this. And while he's in his water puddle like this, he's completely invulnerable, nothing can hurt him, and enemies can't target him. But I can't shoot my weapons either, and I move very, very slowly. So in his normal kit, you combine this with Tidal Surge. You use Tidal Surge to zoom around while you're in your puddle. But eventually you sort of have to come out. Whoop. Now I'm going to show you something. What I've replaced Puddle with, Tidal Surge. I replaced it with Mag's Pull, right? That's kind of cool. So it's Hydroid and Mag. It's two Warframes that like pretty much everyone has, or can farm for like very easily. So it's got some neat use cases. Now, I'll get to why I'm using Pull. It's actually sort of like cool with this build. But I'm going to show you a thing first about Undertow. As you can see, like enemies take some impact damage and whatnot, but there is one very important statistic here, and that is the one called damage increase per second, which means that enemies who are trapped in the puddle, in the Undertow, together with Hydroid, they take damage, and they take more damage for every second they are inside Undertow, and this scales infinitely. This will just keep on scaling forever, until either the enemy dies, or you just run out of energy and can't be in Undertow anymore. That's like the only limitation. So yeah, this is... he's one of the few Warframes who actually sort of has infinitely scaling damage as part of just his base ability set, which is super cool. That obviously has use cases. Now, here is the problem with Hydroid. I'm going to show you if I pause the AI. Normally, when you play Hydroid and you want to puddle enemies, as you can see here, you kind of have to stay still, because now that enemy I sucked him down into the water with me. But if I were to move away from this, like he's in play, so if I move away, that enemy is eventually gonna just, pop back out again. Because, you know, they're in place while they're being puddled. And that's why sort of like zipping around with Tidal Surge kind of doesn't work. because when they leave the undertow, like the damage they take reset. Now they're no longer like taking damage per second anymore and whatnot. So what you have to do if you want to kill people with undertows, you have to stay perfectly still. You just gotta stay in your puddle, and then use your little tentacle here to like whip people in like this, right? You can only take them one at a time. It doesn't have a lot of range, but you know, it works. And once we got all of them in here, oh yeah, the damage also scales based on like how many people are in the undertow. So the more people are in here, in this little party puddle, the more damage they take. And as you can see, like these numbers are already in the thousands. And like they're drowning in here. They're underwater here with me. I'm just gonna have to take my word for it, people. Ah, the first one died. Yep. These are like level 175 heavy gunners. They die. They melt. That's nice. I don't really have to do anything. I'm not doing anything. What I have to do is I just have to stay in the puddle. Hehehe. 2 left. You can see in the bottom right how many people are still in the puddle with me. Now, here's the thing. What if we had an easier way of doing this? Which is... yeah, so Mag's pull. It can just yoink people from goddamn pretty far away. And... you know, ragdoll them. Woo! And pull them into the party puddle. Yeah. Hey, you, get over here. There we go. And then you can just use your little tentacles to pick off stragglers. Oof. Come on, guys. I'm not moving. Whee! You can also use your Tempest Barrage to armor strip enemies who are inside the party puddle. You can use your tentacles to add more damage and more loot drops as well. And obviously, this is what you want your game to look like. This is a fun time, right? Having your game look like this. I'm basically just playing with my loot radar in the top left corner. But they're dying. They are absolutely melting. Hey, you. There we go. You too. Get in here. Is this an exciting build? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me if it's exciting. But what it is, though, is effective. This absolutely works. And, you know, with the very high efficiency, it takes very little energy to keep this going. You can just stay in the puddle pretty much forever. Which we are doing. So if you play this, what you do is you kind of want to like just pick a survival mission or something. And just find some sort of nice corner you want to be in. And just go into the puddle. Just go into the puddle and pull in enemies forever. Using Mag's pull. And only submerging to sort of pick up energy. To that end, we have 2 things for this build. Partly, we are using an Arcane Energize to make sure that when we do pick up energy, we replenish it fully. We are using Primed Flow and the Streamline. We want like a very high efficiency and like a lot of energy because we want to always be in undertow. And the one survivability mod that we need for this is Rolling Guard, which is nice. When you roll, you become invulnerable for 3 seconds, and then it has a bit of a cooldown. And that's honestly all we need, because you can roll out of undertow, which is great. So what that means is, if I simulate, and I'm not even gonna kill these guys, I'm just gonna show you. I go into undertow, and I roll out of it. I'm invulnerable for 3 seconds. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I roll out. I'm invulnerable for 3 seconds. And go back into the undertow. So with this, I'm actually sort of immortal. Whoop. I am completely immortal. And I only sort of submerge to pick up energy. Otherwise, I am just gonna stay in Undertow forever. And I'm using Mag's Pull to yoink enemies into the puddle with me. And just chill here until they die. Use a tentacle to pick off stragglers. Use Tempest Barrage to strip armor, if so needed. That's all we're doing, people. That is all we're doing all day long. Here, have some more Tempest Barrage. Yeah, that'll show him. Have some more Tempest Barrage. Have some more Tempest Barrage. Yep. And you're drowning. Just down here in the water with me. God, what a way to go. Not a whole lot they can do about it. And everyone's dead. Fascinating, huh? So yeah, Hydroid can do stuff like that, right? Be completely immortal and kill anything. But the trade-off is you have to stay completely still in the game Warframe. But you can do it that way. You can do it that way and you can clear some pretty high-level content. Because, hey, honestly, what are the enemies going to do against you? Like, what can they do? Not a whole lot. You stay in the puddle, and they die. You don't die, but they die. That's all that matters.